Chapter 8. Old Kalo and his wife have troubled night that leaves them sleepless for long. He curses the day he involved himself with Oloisudari. The queer demand that he had made to them that day left old Kalo wondering whether he was a member of the Ilmasonic cult. Although he had heard Oloisudari's criminal records, he had turned a blind eye to his enticement, which he now regretted. He remembered the warning of his old friend Ol Supeo, who had compared Oloisudari to a randy he-goat and asked him to keep him away from his daughters. The events of that afternoon and what had transpired between him and Oloisudari flashed back into his mind. He remembered how bluntly Oloisudari had told him that he was interested in his daughter Rizian. Although he initially could not believe his ears, Oloisudari confirms it by repeating what he had earlier said. He even went ahead to say that he had a friend who would be interested in his other daughter too. His pleas that Oloisudari spares his daughters fall on deaf ears. Following the nature of their relation, Oloisudari ends up having his way. This really infuriated old Kalo, and even when he lay in bed that night, he felt his failure as a father. He however had to agree to part with Rizian in order to save his business, his home, and his daughter Teo. On her part, Mama Milanoi was inconsolable. In addition to him asking for Rizian, he had also demanded that her Intoyi Nemangalana status had to be terminated. Ultimately, Oloisudari had said that he would take her and see the ritual performed in his home. Mama Milanoi curses their having ever come back to Nazala. She wondered what happened to their culture for it to allow a man as old as Oloisudari to want to marry her daughter. If it were in the past, he would have been dealt with ruthlessly by the women of the community. She remembers an incident when she was about 10 and a mannerless old man got infatuated with a 14-year-old daughter of his age mate. When the mother learned about it, she informed the other women and they organized how to discipline him. The old man was stripped naked and shamelessly beaten by the women. She wonders where such culture fled to. Knowing Rizian's defiant nature, Mama Milanoi is certain that it would not be easy to handle her. She knew that old Kalo would be in for a rude shock if he supposed that he would just call her and hand her over to Oloisudari. She wondered what Oloisudari would do. Rizian rebuffed him. Her fear was that the monster could do anything, including killing an innocent child like Rizian. Old Kalo asks his wife what they should do about the matter. He wanted her input on the best way to break the news to Rizian. She proposes that they take time to think about it since it was a delicate matter. He agrees with her and swears that he had not planned for that to happen to their daughter. When he wakes up in the morning, Rizian notices some artificial cheerfulness in him. She thought he was being insincere and wondered where his usual insensate anger that he always directed to her was. The withdrawal in his eyes is rather obvious. On the other hand, Teo is very happy to see their father this cheerful. It is the smile of their mother too that carries them away and even cheers Rizian up. At this point, Teo informs their father that Joseph agreed to coach them on traditional music and dance. Rizian is tempted to raise the issue of joining the university, but she has a premonition that all is not well, which makes her hold back. Surprisingly, when Olarinkoi joins them for breakfast that morning, it's Rizian who cheerfully serves him with a cup of tea. Mama Milanoi is pained by Rizian's cheerfulness, knowing too well the impending disaster ahead. Hope so you found this content helpful. Show your support by simply subscribing to get notified whenever we upload new videos and share with family and friends. Thanks.